all walks of life on Saturday attested to the sterling and selfless lifestyle of the late Alhaji Aliu Omokide, who represented Akoko-Edo South constituency in the then Bendel State House of Assembly at a reception held for him at the Comprehensive High School Igarra. Member representing Akoko-Edo South constituency in the Edo State House of Assembly, Honorable Emmanuel Agbaje, flagged the tributes when he said words were inadequate to capture the contributions of the deceased to humanity. Honorable Agbaje said he was present to celebrate the life and times of his predecessor in the then Bendel State House of Assembly.
First, I would say that I am his distant successor in office. He is my predecessor in office, irrespective of the time in between. Aliu Omokide represented Akoko-Edo South constituency at the then Bendel State House of Assembly. We are here to celebrate his life and time. I must also note that during his time, he made good use of the opportunity available.
Also speaking, a family friend to Mr. Aliu Omokide, Pastor Engineer Amos Bello, said the late lawmaker was a disciplinarian who ensured he brought up all his children in a way that all can see and emulate today. He praised the deceased as a thoughtful person who was driven by dutiful considerations of the future in his deeds.
Disciplinarian, someone who had the future in mind and ensure that he brought up the children in the way that we can all see today. Is a fruit that any man pray to have.
In his own tributes, Chief Robert Uhoba said he was present to celebrate the life of a very great man who came to the world saw and conquered. He did his best for his people. The autobiography of the man speaks volumes of what he has done, a man who started from a very humble background to climb to success through thick and thin.
Celebrate the life of a very great man, a man who came to the world. He saw and he conquered. He did his best for his people. The autobiography of the man speaks volume of what he has done. A man who started from a very, very humble beginning. Through thick and thin, he succeeded.
There was an energetic performance by A1 Production to spice up the live celebration of the astute lawmaker and disciplinarian. Guests were treated to a documentary video production by Bloomshire Communications on the life and times of the deceased, both digitally and physically, with sublime musical renditions amidst surplus of food and drink and other side attractions. He survived by wives, children, in-laws, and grandchildren. Among those who eloquized late Alhaji Aliu Omokide are former chairman, Akoko-Edo Local Government Council and proprietor, Success Secondary School, Honorable Chief Johnson Emasialu, former member representing Akoko-Edo North constituency and ex-chairman, Akoko-Edo Local Government Area, Honorable Anselm Agbabi, Miss Judith Ife, Prince Aka Chuku, Mr. Bernard Ekwe, among others.
He's a very religious man, very confident about himself. He was a former member of the Bendel State House of Assembly and a highly respected man.
Aliu Omokide, now late, was a very wonderful man. I knew him growing up as a child, and there was something particularly about him that I feel everybody that is close to him and those that must have heard about him should kind of adopt. And that is his style of humility. He lived a humble life. And as a politician that he was, he brought development to Edo State, to Akoko-Edo particularly.
He was a great man, and he lived a very exemplary life. And what more is there to show for it than the children that he left behind? Very great children indeed.
We are here to celebrate life.
God bless you. I'd like to also recognize the presence of another daddy here, buying father from a distance. I want to take this moment for the coming so very close. I'd like to recognize Captain Roy, MD, Airline, all the way from Lagos State and all the way from over the sea.
So I think
God bless you. You don't say when you cross other sea.
Some of the daughters-in-law told Bloomshan, Nigeria, that late Omokide was a very tolerant Muslim who respected the religion of others.
Father-in-law is one in a million. He's a man super in diversity, a thorough Muslim that is very tolerant.
The children of the deceased described their late father as a friend, mentor, Islamic teacher, developer, and a father.
Well, if I'm to describe my father, words will fail me. He was such a great personality that words indeed will fail me. But then, I will say this any day. He was a very caring father. He was a loving father, very present, very involved. And above all things, he was totally committed to the goodwill and welfare of the people around him.
My father is a friend, he's a mentor, he's my Islamic teacher, and a father, a developer, and in fact, words are not enough to describe him.
Virtually everything I've learned today of becoming a man, I learned from him. I call him my hero. It's not every hero that wears cape. He's my true hero. He has left a lot